Huizenga, and obviously your leadership on that has been outstanding. You've just described very succinctly the reasons why this is so important. It's something we absolutely must do. You and I agree, and I think every member of the Budget Committee, that this is one of the greatest threats facing the ability for our kids and grandkids and future generations to live the American dream that we've had the opportunity to live. And so we passed it. It was passed under the leadership of Chairman Arrington, of course, out of the Budget Committee in a bipartisan way, as you mentioned. And I think the chairman plans to bring that up again and do that this week. And hopefully we can bring that to the floor and get this passed. It's critical we do that. I'd like to recognize Mr. Moore.
Getting this fiscal commission passed out of committee last Congress was a highlight of last Congress, and not getting it at least through the House was a low light, in my opinion. And I would committed to continuing to work to push that as much as possible. Just a quick point of clarification. This first vote, to vote for the Fiscal Commission Act, you're not voting for anything to change. You're just allowing us to be able to explore options to get after our deficit. Am I correct?
Absolutely, and quite honestly, I think what we are facing here should be recognized by everyone involved, regardless of political attachment. And this is frankly conjuring up the courage to at least explore what the options have to be.
And my point is, that doesn't have to be a courageous vote. The tough vote is once the recommendations come back and those go onto the floor for a real House vote. We get that's tough, and that's going to cause a lot of consternation from both sides of the aisle. But this first vote, to be able to just enact the commission, should not be a tough vote. And I just wanted to reemphasize that. There'll be 2 votes on this, to enact it and get the recommendations, and then to ultimately pass it. The first one's not a tough vote and should be far more accepted by my colleagues on the left to be able to at least embrace the concept of, hey, see what this world creates. Thank you so much for leading on this, Bill.
I appreciate that, and I think as we saw, though, during the debate of when this committee passed it, there are some folks who are debt deniers, or at least denying the impact of the debt. And they're willing to delay, and they're willing to punt once again. I just don't think we simply have the time as a nation to do it, because the longer we wait, the harder that final vote will be. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, great point. I'd like to recognize Chairman Arrington.
I'd like to thank Representative Huizenga for his leadership on what may be the most significant play to run in Congress to address what is the single biggest debt driver looking 30 years out. 98% of the $125 trillion in unfunded liability on our books today, that cumulative unfunded liability or deficit spending is coming from 2 programs, Social Security and Medicare. They're critical programs. One will be insolvent, as Vice Chair Smucker mentioned, within 10 years. There aren't just debt deniers, they're insolvency deniers. And I appreciate the leadership and courage of my Democrat colleague, Scott Peters, who in that hearing said, we do nothing. We are consigning our seniors to a 20% cut in benefits. So I'm excited about this opportunity. I believe we made history by just passing it out of committee. That's not good enough. I foresee us building the consensus to make this a reality. I think President Trump's greatest legacy is not going to be fair trade or securing the border, all great, or even unleashing economic prosperity. All of them awesome. Restoring peace through strength, awesome. I think it's going to be saving Social Security and the safety net for seniors of Medicare and the solvency of our nation and children's future. But just like what preceded Reagan and Tip O'Neill's grand bargain on that, the Greenspan Commission, we need this Huizenga Debt Fiscal Commission to precede those decisions and have those kind of discussions prior to it. Have experts like Ray Dalio and other outside folks give credibility, help us sound the alarm, and ultimately cut through the politics and have this expedited to the floor for an up or down vote. That will be a game changer. Thank you, Bill, for your leadership here.
Mr.
Do
Chairman,
we have to call the Huizenga Commission?
I'm sorry, say again.
Do we have to call the Huizenga Commission?
I
Are we stuck on that, or were we good?
I would firmly reject that amendment on that. But if you don't mind me illustrating, I had this point over the Thanksgiving holidays, and I won't name who this was, but I had a conversation with a family member who is recently retired, who is single. She had gotten into a good job towards the end of her working career and has a bit of a nest egg, but is going to be dependent on Social Security. And we got into a conversation about what she, as a 69-year-old, is going to be facing in the next 8 or 9 years. And it's not good. I mean, this is real impact to people that we know. This is about our kids and our grandkids' future, but it's also about people who are currently in the system, who are going to have no fault of their own. The system changed on them, not by anything that we in Congress or the Senate or the White House do, but by simple math and the law of the land, which says that they will be receiving this cut if we do nothing. That, to me, is a secondary tragedy.
Yeah, thank you. We could talk about this for a long time, and I'm sure we will. Thank you, Mr. Huizenga. I appreciate your leadership. I know our next witness is tight on time, getting back to another hearing. So now I'd like to